Welcome.
Go grab.
Here we are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Sigil Confidential, fantasy noir with a little added extra in the City of Doors.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello. Here we are. Back to it. It's a shame we can't share this wonderful music that's going around.
Yes, we apologize, dear audience. You caught us in the middle of considering the relative merits of Bill Withers' Ain't No Sunshine and the Walker Brothers' The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. My personal opinion, both classics.
I would, I think I'd probably go with Bill myself.
That's fair. I'm a big Scott Walker fan, so I am biased.
Yeah. No, I love Scott Walker, but for that particular pairing of songs, Ain't No Sunshine is just...
It's a masterful performance, I can't lie.
Although I will say Sting did an amazing version.
I forgot you were talking about a jazz musician. Like, triggered.
I was going to say, if you ever seen Sting's version of Ain't No Sunshine, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That said, welcome everybody. Welcome back.
Yes.
We are at headquarters, preparing to do our stuff that we talked about. I hope.
What was that stuff that we talked about?
Espionage, subterfuge, scouting.
I feel like we know somebody who's ready to tell us.
What kind of evening are we gonna have? I wonder.
Well, let's
Okay.
Let's get our
Average.
recap first.
Average evening? I don't. I'm not sure.
There's no such thing as an average evening in Sigil.
Quiet night at home.
Are we gonna have an okay evening? Are we gonna have a passable evening?
Everyone's just flat out decided, you know what, I'm just not doing this anymore. It's safer here at home.
Well, let's find out what sort of evening we're going to have, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Last time on Sigil Confidential, the Ghost's associate broke away to report back to her boss, and the rest of the crew made the trek back to headquarters. As they walked, 5 imps followed behind them, and they weren't being very sneaky about it, as much as they tried to be inconspicuous. It was pretty obvious that these were Scratch's people. Everyone split off in different directions to try and lose them and reconvened at headquarters. The Ghost had arrived before them, and the crew gathered to discuss matters. Except Rister. Rat sent him a message asking where he went off to, and Rister informed him that he had business to take care of at their consulting firm with one of their high-up clients. Disappointed but having no time to spare, they fleshed out plans over a game of cards. They discussed needing to get their people back and wondered if they could do it by giving Scratch what he wants. This led Jimmy to question where, and why, the base of the spire. And after the Ghost informed him that it was the great equalizer that nullified all magic, even that of the greater gods, Jimmy was really wishing that they had Rister still, knowing that he'd be the one to kill a pit fiend alone amongst all of his caster friends. He didn't actually want to give Scratch what he wanted, but he knew that Scratch would use every bit of leverage he could to get it. In the face of this daunting task, they decided to focus on more short-term goals. Find out where Scratch was keeping Zill, Watts, and Pohan, and find out some information on the Whispering Gale. Rat got a call on a sending stone from an old pal of his, Crod, who had some information on a ship for them. While they were waiting on his arrival, Ghost pointed out the elephant in the room. What were they going to do about Asmodeus? Scratch did not say he'd remove the bounty on Jimmy's head for helping him, only that he'd forget everything that's happened and get out of Jimmy's hair. Killing Scratch might eliminate the bounty depending on the nature of its exile, but they needed to find out what was up with that too. Crod arrived in short order. He was very eager to lead everyone down to see the ship and sail out before the crew even had a fully fleshed out plan. After trying to suss them out, Ghost shot down the idea that they needed to fight off the Harmonium Port Authority, but instead should make them believe that the crew were legitimately supposed to take the ship. A plan was then set. The Ghost was to go down to the docks for reconnaissance. Rat and Crod were going down to catch some information from members of the Teamsters, and Jimmy, Draken, and Istu were going to find out information on Scratch's exile and where he keeps his hostages. Will the crew succeed in their individual missions, or will everything go horribly wrong? Stay tuned and find out on Sigil Confidential. Hell to pay.
Thank you. As always, amazing.
Very nice.
I feel like there should be an applause sounder.
You can rig that up, but that would be a lot of work.
Well, I've tried stuff like that with things like this, and the delay makes it
It's quite severe.
comical. However, we do have our plan in kind of a... Rister's feeling attacked by this intro. Nice. I do think that we have a plan in play. Or in place, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you guys kind of dictate the flow as far as who goes when and where first. Entirely up to you.
Yeah. Who's really feeling it, you know? I think we're all going to take off at mostly the same time. Although, Ghost is already gone, right? Ghost is
already gone.
Ghost is doing the thing.
Les poof.
Yep. Where we left off, Rat was giving Jimmy a walkie-talkie of his own.
I like it.
So you can sending stone back to me while the party is split.
Rocky Talkie, that's pretty good.
I like it. So you put that in your inventory, Rocky Talkie, because that's how it's in mine.
I shall.
Rocky talkie.
Nice.
Let's go. Alright. Okay, I've got to mute something here. Okay, there. Okay. So, what's the plan? Where are we going first?
Alright. Ghost, would you like to do your shenanigans first? I know you've been planning.
I have a few rough plans in place, but would anyone else really itching to go first? Because I'm not particular.
Okay, so my thought was, if we're going to see the Teamsters at the bar, I'd like to get there, maybe not right away. We'll let them have a little bit of time to get liquored up before we get there. Maybe a little easier to get information out of them.
Are you going?
That said,
where are you going to meet the Teamsters?
we're gonna find a bar near the docks that they work at.
You think that's where they'll be?
Tavern. I think there's probably a tavern nearby that they probably frequent after work near the docks.
Are you now? You've been in Sigil for a while, so
Yes.
I will say that while it's possible to find some of the Teamsters there, the more likely bet is if you're looking for them in a familiar location where they gather often, it would probably be closer to their guild hall.
You think they'd go all the way back there for drinks right after their shift?
Well, Sigil is a little cliquish.
Yeah, I was thinking even if it's cliquish though, they still probably have like
Oh, you're gonna find some that'll
like a
drink closer to
Teamstery
work.
bar, like a block away.
Yeah, you'll find some that'll still drink closer to work, but
I I think the lushes who can't make it more than a block from the work site, those are the ones we're going to get the information from. The ones who have the constitution to get all the way back to HQ.
The lushes.
Like those guys don't like. They've got some willpower to get all the way back across town before they start drinking. They're going to be tight-lipped.
The Guildhall ward is a good distance, so.
Not from headquarters.
No, I mean from the docks.
From the docks.
That is true,
Yeah.
though.
So
Yeah,
that
not so much from
said,
headquarters though.
I'm okay with spending a little bit of time before I head out.
Alright.
So I'll look over to Crod and see that his pants are loose and that he's been kind of like
I mean,
yanking up his waistband just subtly every couple of moments.
while you and I are still here, Jimmy pulls something out of his bag and he says, "You know, since I'm going to see the lady, I don't believe you were around yet when I picked this one up." And he holds up an amulet he received from Glacia. We did a little bit of divination on this. We got a general idea what's up with it, but I mean, I did get it from a princess of hell, so I was a little reluctant to actually put it on. You want to have a look at that for me?
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at that real quick.
This is the first time anyone's really gotten a good look at this thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we did a what was it?
Legend lore.
Yeah, but we didn't identify it or anything.
What did the legend lord tell you?
We
I put
got
it in
back. Blood for blood shall be the cost and shall be the value of he who holds this amulet. Death shall be a fleeting memory until nothing is left.
That's right. Okay.
And I read that to mean like this is maybe succeed on death saves. This is maybe some sort of weird like reverse phylactery. Some devil shit is happening here. So I did not attune to it.
Yeah. Understandable. Understandable.
I'll reach up and take it in my hand and start to identify it.
Hey, you guys talk amongst yourselves 1 sec. I'm so sorry. Be right back.
Oh, it's alright.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good to roleplay. I say, yeah. You see, it's a little spooky. Death being a fleeting memory until nothing is left. I'm a little worried that the thing that there'll be nothing left of is me.
Well, you know, that's the thing with this magic stuff, Jimmy. You can never be so sure. Like, they always use this cryptic riddles and strange language. It's... Mechanics are the only thing you can actually trust.
Under his breath, Jimmy, he sort of hides his mouth behind his hand. He says, "Honestly, I agree with you. This, the arcane stuff, it bothers me. I'm not so good at it."
Now, that said, if there's something arcane about this thing, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, my assumption was very, but you tell me, you're the expert.
I'll take out my all-purpose tool and kind of like switch out my jeweler's lens on it. Just kind of like pop it into my eye and just kind of like really start taking a look at this amulet.
Do you, are you... I'm looking at all the people looking at each other in text there. Are
Things
you...
are going around the room.
Are you attempting to identify this item?
Yes.
Okay. Are you using an ability or?
I will use an ability. I will use identify.
Oh, the actual identify spell.
The actual identify spell. Wait, look.
Whoa.
Artificer.
Can do crazy things.
It's so rare we see this spell in any of our parties. For some reason. And there's been so many situations where you're like, I don't know what this is, but I'll keep it.
I kind of love that.
let's see here.
That's pretty much my whole entire character. I have so many things I don't know what they are.
This
It really worked out
Horde.
for you.
Yes, this is Dragon Horde. Exactly right.
It is.
Apologize if you hear some noise in the background there. There we go. So, what this is you kind of take out your jeweler's glass, like you were saying, and use it to identify the item. It is what's called an Amulet of Life Saving. On the very back of it, there is a small barb that can be withdrawn out of a small cavity. You pull the barb down, you press your thumb into a small indentation where the barb sits. It pricks your thumb and soaks in a drop of blood and essentially stores a hit point. So as long as you have this amulet and nothing devastatingly physical happens to you that could destroy it, you cannot go down. You will always have one hit point.
Okay, then. That sounds like it might actually help if I have to slapbox with a pit fiend.
Possibly.
Yes, quite.
Now, keep in mind, I know this sounds really powerful. Like, it only works once. So
You gotta, like, recharge it. Does it have a recharge time? Like,
no, it shatters.
oh, it shatters.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll save you from dying once.
okay, then.
Sorry, I should have probably led with that. We went from artifact to magic item. Sorry. Yeah, no, if it worked to just intrinsically, permanently, that'd be amazing.
That would be a really good item. Slap that on a barbarian and just go to town.
Oh, jeez. Where's Rister when you need him? There you go, big guy. Yeah, but no, that's what it is. It to attune to it, obviously, you prick your thumb and store the hit point.
Okay.
Jimmy, this thing is some powerful magics.
I kind of assumed, but that honestly sounds pretty straightforward as far as devils go.
You got this from a devil?
My friend, Jimmy looks you dead in the face. I got this from the devil, or pretty close. No, let me put this: the devil has a bounty on my head. I got this from the devil's daughter.
You can have this back.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I didn't say it up front. Jimmy takes
shove it back into your hands.
Yeah, Jimmy takes it and he goes like, all right, well, let's get it. Pokes the thumb. Am I cursed instantly? Please tell me I'm cursed instantly.
No, it does just what it says.
Ah, perfect.
Only Jacob would be like, please tell me I'm cursed instantly.
Yeah, entertainment.
I like it when things happen.
Well, things are happening. You just put a drop of your really old, half-living blood in the thing.
I imagine that blood's getting a little stale. My heart barely ever beats.
It's a little black and thick.
Yeah, it's probably some thick, dark blood.
Yeah.
Coagulated and everything.
Jimmy turns to Draken and Istu, part of his strike team for this particular action. Okay. So, speaking of the Devil's Daughter, we're gonna go talk to her. Yeah, that's probably a little inappropriate. You don't go and show up and talk to the Princess of Hell. We're going to go seek an audience with the Princess of Hell. Does that sound more accurate?
I mean, it sounds like the same thing.
Yeah. He's looking at Drake. And Drake, does that sound appropriate? I feel like that sounds appropriate.
I mean, you are on a first-name basis with her. So, I think that kind of muddies the water. all those fails, just like smile.
Yep.
Not the
It does
bad
work
smile,
really well
the
on
good
devils.
smile. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not the bad smile, the good smile.
I like this.
I don't know, you're wearing a collar now, so she'll probably take a visit from a pet.
We get into these situations sometimes. I try not to worry about it. You know, it's better than he holds up a hand.
Draken points to the eye.
See? It could be so much worse. Istu. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Would you consider that you're a good liar?
That's a loaded question. I say as I was working on making the Chaos Elmo meme.
Chaos Elmo.
Just minor illusioning over here to myself. Oh, what, me? Liar?
Never.
Right. Now, you don't have to be honest with me about everything, but you have to be honest with me about this. Do you think you're a good liar?
Score.
Yeah, let me just let me just roll. Okay. Yeah. No. Honestly, I don't.
All right, church. Can I roll to see if Istu is lying about lying?
Sure, give me an insight versus their deception.
I mean, it's kind of pointless because
If it's true and you beat my insight check, then I won't know.
This is true.
well, yeah, you asked me about my thoughts, not about my actual skill. The question itself is, do you think that you're good at it? And by that specific interrogation, I don't think I'm good at it.
Here's the trick. You're thinking like a logician, and that's not what Jimmy is. Jimmy's a con artist. He didn't ask you for your answer. He asked you to evaluate how you answered. He's not listening. He's looking at you.
I'm not lying to you, so I don't know what to tell you about your insight check.
Oh no,
He just automatically succeeds.
you can give it to him if you choose to. Generally, with something like this, I would roll opposition, and no matter what the answer, just so that there's always that little chance.
Just so that you can feel sneaky.
That was very close.
Yes.
You almost beat it.
I mean, Istu is not trying to lie to you right now.
Yes.
Like, and you can kind of tell that they take a second to think about your question, and they're like, they narrow like their right eye, like,
Kind of scratches. You think through the implications.
I will say, just to point out,
Yeah.
that in every situation where things have been crucial, Istu has come through in a pinch.
Istu absolutely comes through and has, in fact, to Jimmy's knowledge, not actually managed to lie to him ever.
No, Istu has
Which is
been...
kind of why he's asking this question, because what he follows up with this is, he says, alright, so, we're going to go and talk to Glacia, Princess of Hell, which means that we're going to try and lie as little as possible, but if we do lie, we have to do a very, very good job of it.
Jimmy.
okay, just tell the truth creatively. Got it.
As best you can. Yeah, Drake.
It's time for a puppet show.
It might be time for a puppet show.
I'm feeling a puppet show.
Oh God, what is a puppet show? What does that mean?
What you got there, right?
So I hear what you're talking about, and you see me take, or you see Rat take an invisible ring off of his hand, and it becomes visible as he does. And he flips it over to Istu. Says, "You're gonna be around a devil? The Queen Devil? Put this on."
I look at the ring. I look at Rat. If I'm getting the names right, please tell me I didn't.
No, that's right.
Yeah. And I'll put it on. I guess. Does this does it hurt?
No. Just attune to it, and you're safe.
Okay.
Have fun.
Well, I hope to get this back to you safely. If we don't die in the process.
Yeah, try not to die while you're wearing it. That'd be bad.
Jimmy flaps his hand. She's not gonna kill us. If she wanted me dead, she would have killed me.
Oh, that ring. I have one of those. I don't use it anymore.
somewhere in the distance, angry muttering.
Yeah. Now you got a fancy stick.
I do have a fancy stick.
If anyone's looking at Istu, they notice that they take the ring off for a second and seem to be very loudly thinking something. Like you can tell they're furrowing their brow and like jutting their chin forward a little bit, and then they put the ring back on.
Jimmy tilts his head slightly. Does not comment. He files that one away. All right. Well, the evening is burning. Let's hit the road. Rat, Crawd, I trust you've got the dockside angle covered.
Yep, we'll get there just after they're getting their drunk on.
All right. If you wrap up your, we'll call it an investigation. Before you hear from me, just send over the sending stone. If we wrap up first, we'll send to you.
Gotcha.
Anything goes terribly wrong and you're in threat of your life, give a shout.
Well, you'll notice.
I hope so. If we're in threat of our life, we're probably not going to have time to shout.
No, probably not.
I'm sure you can find another contract.
Best of luck, Jimmy.
Appreciate it. All right. And we hit the road.
All right.
And as they leave, I'll kind of pull out of my bag my belt and look over to Crawd and just kind of say, "I'd made this from a boy. I just never had a chance to get it to him. Use this to keep your pants up. Those ones don't fit so well."
Rod will literally just put both of his hands forward, take the belt. His pants will of course fall down. He will smile and gleefully accept it.
Can I do something?
Meh.
What do I need to roll to mage hand to just pinch the belt loops so that they don't fall?
Oh yeah, that belt was made for a Goliath. You might need to maybe make a
Cinch it real
adjustment here
tight.
real quick.
Just for like a second. Just for like a second to make sure his pants don't fall down. Like,
I mean,
Well, that's a lot.
if it's
Sleight of
on the
hand
end.
if you're trying to do it secretly.
yeah,
I don't know if it needs to be a secret. I mean, it's just a gesture, right? Like,
I mean, they don't really need to roll anything, I wouldn't think.
24?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me
you
roll.
caught it just before the goods were shown. Good job.
Let's put this in chat.
Barely.
Good guy, good person is too.
Thank you.
so
I do like you slightly more now. Thank you.
this is fair.
Perfect.
This is fair.
Sorry. I'm sorry if you wanted to do that intentionally, but like.
No, you're good.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's just how it went.
So, pants are held.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a very strong belt. Yes.
What are we doing with that?
Oh, I mean, he's gonna I suppose subconsciously attuned to it since he wasn't told it was magical, but I'm sure it'll eventually attune to him over the course of an hour.
He knows Rat. If Rat hands you something, it's magical.
Do we need a long rest to attune to these things?
No, short rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do the same with the ring then.
If Rat hands you a beer and a cigar, they're probably magical.
Probably. Besides that,
I don't make consumable magics too much. I wouldn't mess with the alcohols or tobaccos. Some things gotta be sacred.
I mean,
I love
I've
that
heard
thought.
of a mug that eternally refills. That's not consumable.
Now you're thinking.
It's Rat's level 20 ability. Doesn't get the usual artificer thing. Gets the mug.
A mug and a Cuban that never ends.
Nice.
Alright. Well, we had a fun little pre-scene there. Now we're back to the main question. Who wants to go first?
I think because we're taking the hour to attune to items before we leave or head out, would be a good time to check in with the ghost. See how reconnaissance of the shift change down at the docks is going.
Yeah, we can go first. So, head down to the docks and see what Bryn is up to.
Okay. So, let me do this. We're gonna change maps. So first off, before I change the map, and granted you're all gonna see this, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. So, as you know, I kind of created an addition to Sigil with the harbor front, let's call it. The name of the area, the name of the harbor front is called the Sidewalk Ends.
Oh, that's fun.
So what I'll do first off is I'm just going to show you guys kind of two pictures of it from different angles, just so that we have a visual. Boom. So you have this angle here. Basically runs along the rim of the ring. Obviously, I had limitations of software in use, but you get the idea.
Yeah, you did as much. I like it. I like the vibe.
And from the other angle, boom.
Okay, so is that a big lighthouse?
Yes, I did put a lighthouse in. It's more for aesthetics and because Sigil is weird than actual any practical use.
Yeah.
I would argue that it would have practical use because you think about Sigil, most of the time it has that like pea green smog like all over Sigil. That like, yeah, you can't see more than 5 feet in front of you like most days. So
It is true, and I actually included the thick mist there too. So yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're certainly not wrong.
Yellow pea soup smog.
The blinder. That being said, though, oops, I'm clicking on the wrong things here. I will bring us to the actual map now that you kind of have a visual. This is the overhead here.
It is black on my screen.
Yeah. One moment, because you are coming out first on your own. So let me see here.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's coming out.
Yeah. I have to resize you. And then you don't have dark vision, right?
No.
Okay. So, do you have a light source that you would carry?
Nah. Especially right now because she's invisible.
Yeah, well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like you have one just for the sake of use. But it won't illuminate the entire map. It'll just illuminate a nice little chunk of it.
Okay.
Around you as you go for fun.
Alright.
So, there you go. I think you can see now.
No.
You may have to zoom out. It's a big map.
I'm zoomed out. It's all black.
Is it really? Okay, one sec. Oh my gosh. What the heck just happened? Hang on one sec. My Roll20 went insane. Shall we try that again? There we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us. Dynamic lighting is on. And... oh. That's probably the problem right there.
Now I see the map.
There we go. Okay.
Yes. It is still completely black to the rest of us.
Yes. But that works.
The suspense.
Dun dun dun. So, yes. You are at the docks. At the harbor.
I cannot swap my token.
Oh, this one's probably not. Let's just assume you're invis for now, because I don't think this one's set for swapped. Although...
no, it's not the multi-sided token.
Here, let me do this. Hang on. We're getting jiggy with it. Don't hate me. There you are. Copy. I should have done this to begin with. It's a good thing we have a nice smooth jazz. Boom.
Yeah, which we should turn up a little more for the stream. There we go.
There you go. Okay. So. Alright, so. I think we're good. Technical difficulties aside.
Alright, so what's around me right now?
So as you walk in, basically it's a wharf front. Most of what you're seeing where you're at right now, the buildings around you are trade houses. Some of them are recruiting centers. A couple of them are even living quarters where you're at right now. This appears to be a loading and unloading area ahead of you. It's fairly busy. A lot of dock workers bustling about, just moving cargo.
All right. Can I see anything of the two ships that are currently docked?
I'll say in the distance you can kind of make out where they are.
All right. So I will probably start to head toward this ship all the way up here in the upper left.
Okay.
Just walking at a normal pace. Trying to, even though she's invisible, trying to keep a respectable distance. Seeing if she can overhear anything.
Okay.
Any talk.
So most of what you're overhearing is going to be just basic day-to-day chit-chat. You know what I mean? Just people working. So-and-so did such and such. My wife cooked a terrible dinner. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you might hear mention of the weird ship that came in with no crew. But not a lot of detail other than that.
No one pointing in the direction of the ship or anything?
No. Nothing obvious.
Nothing obvious? Well, since she's still invisible, let's walk up to one of the ships, shall we? Not to get on, but just to observe from the dock.
Okay. So the ship that you're looking at right now, it's a pretty grand looking ship as far as craftsmanship. Very nice. Assuming like shipcraft probably isn't your big specialty, so like some of the fine details may slip past you, which is fine. I can't imagine. But you can see the name emblazoned, and you are actually looking at the Whispering Gale.
Perfect.
The Whispering what?
Gale.
Gale.
Oh, I cut out. I thought he might have said tuna.
Nah.
It's a fake.
What all can I see of the ship in terms of entrances, exits, how to board, anything like that?
There's a gangplank. Hey, let me zoom in on the map here. Oops. There's a gangplank up onto the ship. Actually, so you see how you've walked out on this little lock here?
Yeah.
On the other side of it, on the right side of it, you see the gangplank leading up to the ship. It's kind of rickety looking.
So, what about the people around? Who specifically does she say walking around, and how heavily is it guarded? If at all.
Not guarded at all.
Not guarded at all, and the dock workers around are just chilling, basically?
There are no dock workers right here.
Huh. Well, let's walk around the wharf then. Like, I want to see where the Harmonium Port Authority is stationed out, where any takers are, if any. Tell me about the people I see.
So, let me catch you there as you're walking. So where you're at right now, this is it's a large kind of courtyard. The building here, ahead of you,
Yeah.
is a trade house. The doors are closed right now. The tower just appears to be a guard shack. There's not a lot of, and this is actually strange, there's not a lot of activity here. You're not seeing a lot of bustle in this particular area. Most of it seems to be closer to the housing to the south of you and moving in the direction of the easterly quadrant of the harbor.
All the activity.
Yeah, it's moving in that direction, like to and from.
All right, so I think she's going to head down that way. She really wants to see about what, goes on here in, I guess, a sort of day-to-day, you could say.
All right. Well, where you're at right now, you're starting to get a little more of a bustle. The little ship that's in the lock there is basically a skiff.
Yeah.
And as you can see where it kind of goes to black is literally like hanging over the ring. Right there.
It's hanging over the what now?
It's hanging over the edge of the ring.
Ah.
So like don't step over. sidewalk ends.
We don't have OSHA here in Sigil.
No, there's a little bump there. There's a little bump there. So it looks like there's a group of about 6 or 7 people there working on the skiff. They're loading it currently with crates and barrels mainly. They're talking amongst themselves. There's a mainly human crew here. There's a number of merchants like around here in these smaller buildings and shacks. These are little shops. A couple of them have lazy merchants like leaning in the doorways, filing their nails, that type of thing. There's not crazy busy. Assuming it's kind of later at this point. So, it's nothing too crazy going on right now. But they are loading up the skiff to go out to one of the ships.
Alright, well, she's probably going to get a little bit closer. She's going to, as she's standing up against this building right here, she's going to be watching the skiff. And she wants to listen in to, like, more conversation.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please.
Hey.
Nice. You can tell that this little group seems to be nervous. They've kind of got their big coats on. They're kind of like, pulling them close and wrapping them around as they're working, even though it's not really terribly chilly.
It's always chilly in Sigil.
well, I mean, it's not like out and out cold. Like, they're wearing coats, like big coats.
Yeah, fair.
But no, it's more of a nervous habit. Like, they're just kind of, wrapping them close and looking around back and forth, wiping their lip. You can tell that they're nervous, whatever it is that they're doing. They're not being particularly careful with the cargo that they're loading, just kind of hurling it on. But they're constantly looking around nervously as they work. They're not talking a whole lot, aside from complaining. And the complaints are fairly general. Like, I can't believe I got to do this. It sucks I got this shift. I really don't want to be here right now. That type of thing.
She is curious about their nervousness. Whatever ship that they are going to go out to, though, she'd be able to get a better vantage point from up top. So let's go up these stairs and walk along this walkway.
Okay.
And she'll probably stop about right here.
Okay. So, there's an old guy standing here, kind of looking out over the drop, smoking a pipe. He hasn't obviously noticed you, but his back's to the skiff. There within you can, within the lock there, you can see like the pipes running out. These right here.
Yeah.
They're pouring into the drop. It looks like just wastewater more than anything. What are you looking for in particular here, I should say?
She, while right here, wants to watch the skiff and see what ship they're going to go out to.
Okay.
Because she's a little peery of these workers and their nervousness, because, like, these are, supposedly Teamsters. They've probably worked night shifts before. They've sailed out on a skiff, like, several times in the past to, like, load and unload these ships. And, like, besides maybe the ditch monster, like, if anything, Bryn doesn't understand why they would be nervous.
Okay.
So she wants to see what's up. Especially if they're going out to the Whispering Gale.
Okay. No, that's fair. Alright, so Let's see. A little time passes. You notice that the old guy with the pipe doesn't really move the whole time. And then they finish what they're doing.
Okay.
Sorry.
All good.
They finally finish what they're doing. Sorry. They load the ship. 2 of them get aboard. The rest of them kind of back off and go back into the cluster of buildings behind them. And they begin to move the skiff through. Under the little archway here. And then it takes a left and goes around and between the Whispering Gale and the harbor, basically.
Okay.
It's not moving fast.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Where can I actually get up here? Because this isn't on the same level right here, right?
Where at?
This whole area right here that I'm painting? It's not...
No. It drops down here, but then comes up back here and then another stairs. There's lots of little levels.
Yeah, there are a lot of little levels. So, let's see. Where is the stairs to get up on top of here?
So this is the lower. These stairs go up here to this little crossover, and then up these stairs to the gangplank onto the ship.
Yeah, she wants to get up here, like, almost as if she's going on the ship, so she can get a better vantage point of the skiff.
Okay, so technically you'd have to walk down these stairs here.
Okay.
Come around. And then you can come up here to these stairs.
Alright.
Up to here, then to here, then to here.
Yeah. That I got, and she will do that. So, up those stairs.
At least nobody's staring at you.
Yeah, invisibility pretty good, you know? Yeah, so. Alright, she's in position. Let's watch that skiff.
Alright, so as you finally make your way around, the skiff's probably getting to about here as you do. You got a fairly clear shot of it as you do. They pull up alongside. There's a crane here, and they start using the crane to unload the boxes and put them on board the ship. There is nobody on the ship receiving them, though. They're just piling them up there.
She thinks that this is a little bit odd, but she's going to continue to watch. See why in the world they're doing this, because she finds this a little barmy.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, you continue to watch. They unload their cargo and then hurriedly move the skiff back from where it came from. Nobody comes around to gather the cargo, though. It just sits there on the deck.
Huh. Well, she's just going to watch the cargo for a second. Still nothing happens, it's just sitting there?
Let me make a super secret roll here.
Secret roll.
Okay. Yeah, nothing happens. It just sits there.
Just sits there. Well, she's just going to give it an odd look, then turn back and head back to, where she was observing before. See if she can catch some of the dock workers' conversation as they're getting off of the skiff.
Okay. Won't be too hard to navigate back there in time. Strangely, they park it back in the lock, kind of tie it off, hop down, and then without a word, just like kind of give each other this weird look of like almost relief, and then kind of move eastward back where the rest of the guys that were loading the boat would.
Where's everyone hanging out? They're heading eastward. Where are they walking to?
Eastward. Can't really tell where they're going. Their destination from where you're standing. They end up disappearing behind rises and buildings.
Alright. Because I was just going to have her, like, follow the crowd.
Okay.
A bit.
It won't be hard to follow them.
Okay.
Alright. They will eventually make their way, if you follow them, to this building here. If you can see where I'm pinging.
Alright. And they're just inside?
They are going inside. It's actually a small tavern.
Rat and Rister need to be over here. Well, there's really no way that she can sneakily slip in without causing a scene.
The door's wide open.
Oh, well, yeah, she'll walk through the wide open door then. I thought the door was closing behind him.
Oh yeah, no, door's wide open.
Alright. She'll walk over to close to the dock workers and eavesdrop a bit.
So it's pretty much a single room on the ground floor here. There is this whole closed off set of stairs. There's a little gate in front of them. This is like do not enter. That goes upstairs. Beyond that, it's 3 tables, some ramshackle chairs, and a ratty bar that's just thrown together with a half-orc behind the bar. They're all speaking in hushed whispers.
Well, let's get a little closer. Not too close, but to where they can feel her breathing or anything, but see if we can make out those whispers from as safe a distance as she can muster while still hearing them.
Okay. It's not a problem, especially in your current condition being invisible.
Yeah.
So what you're gathering is these kind of hushed whispers about a man named Gregory. They're talking about this guy Gregory and how Gregory was one of the Night Watch that was stationed to keep an eye on the Gale when it first came in. They're talking about how Gregory heard voices on the Gale and never could find anyone there, and about how Gregory kind of started unraveling just within like a day or two of watching this thing, and then on the 3rd day Gregory was gone, and now nobody wants to set foot on the ship because nobody's ever found Gregory, and for some reason, and this is what's really bothering them, nobody's looking for Gregory. Gregory had a wife and 2 kids.
Well, in Bryn's mind, that makes more sense why the ship wasn't as guarded and why there was hardly anyone around there.
Yeah,
so
makes a little more sense.
Yeah, in her mind, she was thinking she would have to pull some shenanigans. She's less concerned about that now. So yeah, I think that story is pretty much good enough for her, so I don't think she's going to glean anything else out of these people from just, like, listening to them, so... I don't know, I think she's going to walk back over to the ship and observe once more. Let's... Yeah, scroll bar. Let's see...
It's back over to the Gale.
Yeah, back over to the Gale. She's going to be watching the, she wants to glance at the cargo one more time.
Okay. Going back up to, okay, all the way up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cargo's gone.
Cargo's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And no one was on the ship.
Nobody
and
there.
No one was around.
Nope.
You must feed the beast.
Yeah, out of character, I think we know what's up, but gotta play it in character. Let's see. I'm sure Bryn has some tools to figure out what's up here. I'm looking at my spells, what I got. Well, I don't know. What can I do to figure out, like, what's up with this ship?
Hell of a question.
Anything I can do to try and glean why this cargo would just disappear like it did?
Are you going to go on the ship?
Patented Jimmy the Mouth method. Poke it with a stick.
You can go on the ship and go investigate. Nothing's stopping you.
True enough. She does have at least one good escape on her if shit goes wrong, so yeah, she will very quietly walk up.
Okay. So, you step onto the Gale, onto the deck. The wood creaks beneath your feet. It's well worn. It looks old. Looking around, the deck is immaculately clean. You can't even really tell where the cargo had once lain. There are no scuffs. There's no dust or stains that have been moved or streaks where it was dragged off and carried. No, nothing. It's very quiet. Although, when you're alone, and things get so quiet that you can kind of hear your heartbeat in your ears, and that tendency that your senses have to mess with you, to where it's almost like you hear someone talking in the next room, even though nobody's there. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting that a lot. Like, it's enough to where you kind of every now and then you'll just kind of jerk your head and be like, what the hell was, Like, you feel like somebody's talking or maybe moving or maybe even music is playing somewhere, but it's just out of your sensory reach that when you try to hone in on it, you can't get any detail or nothing's there at all.
Anything spiritual at all? Because this is a spirit medium here we're talking about, so she's thinking about, like, okay, noises. Could it be ghosts?
Do you have an ability to detect them? Like, just an actual mechanical ability?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, I don't think that I do. I mean, I have several, sort of related abilities, like, Tales from Beyond, like, contact spirits, pull a tail. Of course, the out-and-out seance. There's also her spirit medium background feature. Advantage on any Arcana religion check to remember research information about spirits in the afterlife.
Okay. So spiritual knowledge you have loads of. Okay. So let's go with that then. Let's go with your strength.
Yeah, and she can contact ghosts too.
Yeah. Well, give me an Arcana check, and let's say that you're using your knowledge of how the spirit world works, and granted, keeping in mind too that we are in Sigil, so spirits and ghosts and petitioners are not uncommon. So,
she's very much aware. She uses this to her advantage.
Of course. So using your abilities, you kind of attune a little bit to your surroundings, to the ship, and you kind of reach out with those senses. Give me an Arcana check and give yourself advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, 17, solid. So you definitely get the sense that there is a multitude of presences here. It's weird though. It's almost like lightning bugs in a jar is what it feels like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're there, but they're trapped. They want out, but they can't find the way. And being in Sigil, like spirits not being able to find their way is actually a little weird too. This is part of their path many times,
Yeah.
So it's a little unnerving. As you're attuning and reaching out and gathering this information, you could swear like the floorboards beneath your feet shift slightly. And it's almost like the ship groans and moves under you.
I think she's a little too canny to be sticking around for that long. So she wasn't far on the ship, so she's starting to, go off the ship. And she's going to stand up here, and she's going to observe the ship while off of it.
Okay. So the moment you leave, the senses that the unnerving senses kind of start to peel back. You start gaining your comfort. Now that you've distanced yourself, even if it's just a gangplank away, the moment you set foot off the ship, you started to feel a little more at ease.
Feel better?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, using the information that I do have, let's think. Why would these spirits feel trapped on the ship?
That's a much harder question. Maybe you have an ability that could help you, though.
I was just thinking, like, a plain old, like, insight check, thinking, like, even if it's not on the, like, specifically related to the ship, like, why would a spirit be stuck in place?
You may have
Couldn't
to
get
ask
out.
them.
That is a tougher one, especially without delving deeper into the physical mystery of it. Like, you haven't seen below decks, you don't know what's in the cabins, that type of stuff. You haven't seen an actual spirit yet either. You just sense them.
Right.
There's a lot of things that can trap a spirit, as you well know, having trapped one yourself not
Trapped
that long
several.
ago. Yeah. So there are a lot of ways to do it, but as far as a ship trapping them, aside from your knowledge of hauntings and how they work, this is a bit of an anomaly.
So nothing like, if a spirit got eaten, then they may be reliving their deaths inside of like the belly of the beast or anything like that. This is so hard when I have like meta knowledge of what this is, having played on the ship before.
If it's the same.
Oh God.
The times they do be changing.
Yeah, Bryn ain't the sort of ain't the sort of basher to stick around whenever her ass might be in danger, just because that's the sort of person she is. So I think she has enough information that she, needs, which is that, basically no one really watches this ship. And people are afraid of it, so makes their job a lot easier. I think she would, rather approach, and tackle the ship whenever she has the crew with her. So I think that she is going to start heading back down to headquarters. But as she does, she's gonna be looking at that ship one more time. Give it a good long stare.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Big money, no whammies. Oh,
Pretty
well,
good.
I had advantage on it, so 14.
Yeah. It's not terrible. You don't see any movement. Nothing stands out. But I will say that you get this really unnerving sense that something is aware of you. And I say this in the sense of the ghost, especially traveling invisible as often as you do, are very used to not being seen. So when you are seen, or things are so aware of you when they're not supposed to be, it stands out. It's like being stared at from across the room, with only two of you being in the room. It's hard to miss. So you have that sense, and it's very unnerving because nobody should be seeing you right now.
Right. Well, with that sense, she is just going to step a little bit closer, sort of squint at the ship. She's like, why the hell, what sort of entity can actually see me while invisible? Taking another, like, long look at it.
Alright. I'll give you another perception roll.
Got it on normal this time. Big money, no whammies.
24.
Alright.
Okay. So right through here, along the lower sections, are a number of portholes.
Yeah.
You do see movement through the porthole. It's very faint, like just a glimmer of shadow across the glass. But something moved.
Okay, now she's going to take another look. Get a little closer.
Okay.
And just look at the portholes a bit longer.
Alright. Peering around the side of the stairs there.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one more perception. Let's see.
I'm really pushing it here.
No, you're good. So, You don't see any further movement. Every now and then you think you see kind of like a shifting of light through the glass, but it could be the light outside the glass reflecting on it, so it's hard to say. It's a porthole too. It's maybe the size of your head, so it's not a huge field of view either.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing jumps out at you, which could be a good thing.
She's used to a lot of things jumping out at her. Well, anyways, she's done. She's heading back to headquarters now.
All right, so the ghost heads back to headquarters. You will, of course, make it no issues. Seldom have issues traveling as the ghost.
Yeah.
All right, who is up next?
I think Jimmy, Drake, and this two.
Okay. Jimmy, Draken, and Istu.
Are we ready? Draken, Istu, how you feeling?
Let us do this.
That doesn't seem very enthusiastic.
It's not gonna be.
I need some CNC Music Factory enthusiasm here.
For you're not gonna get it from a young T, I don't think.
No, that would be very much out of character.
That's how you know something's wrong.
It took substantial effort to get a smile out of Istu.
Well,
And you know that sort of unflappability is what we need going to talk to the Princess of Hell.
oh yeah. All right, so where are we going?
That requires probably a roll. I believe that we discussed with Glazia long enough to get an idea of where she'd be around town, and I'm gonna put out the feelers. She's kind of a major power.
Didn't
She's-
she leave you her business card and tell you to call her or swing by sometime for a one-on-one?
Church?
I feel like she did.
We were
that was-
given
that was
information. I
part-
don't have an
like-
actual calling card.
I feel like that was part 2 of the amulet.
Yeah.
Was, oh, by the way, here's my business card. You can use it once if you need to.
So, I don't think she gave you an address.
No, we didn't get.
I
We
think
got
she
an
said, like,
invitation, but one absent information.
yeah, I think that was intentional.
Yes, I mean, devils, man. What you gonna do? So I'm gonna put out the feelers. I'm gonna communicate largely through my lovely parrot.
Scallywag.
Scalawag is gonna be doing some message running for me. I figure she's gonna be in the nicer part of town, so I use my criminal contacts that are more on the upscale end.
Okay, so you're at HQ presently.
Yeah, we're leaving HQ basically.
All right, so let's do this for now.
Yes.
This is where the rest of you are. Okay, so you send Scallywag out. You're hanging out at HQ. Crod and Rat, have you pretty much, assuming this is all going down simultaneously, technically?
Technically,
Yeah.
simultaneously.
So you and Crod would be gone?
Once Crot finishes his
I mean-
short rest attunement
Yeah.
for the belt dealy, I think then we'd be heading out to find the tavern.
Okay. So there was a short rest in there first. How many hours are you doing for your short rest?
One.
Just one.
Just the hour?
Yep,
Okay.
just the hour that's required.
Well, if we're doing this simultaneously, so Ghost leaves, you start your short rest, and this begins right now. So you are still there for the time being. For now. And the reason I say that is, Jimmy, you set up Scallywag to send out to your contacts, right?
Yes.
Alright, so Scallywag goes, out the window?
Yes.
Alright. Scallywag takes off. Caca. You're kind of getting your things together, getting ready, getting pumped, getting hyped. His2's looking fabulous. Draken's throwing glitter. Crod and Rat, you guys are chilling. As you do, you hear the door downstairs open.
Jimmy
The door.
Wait,
comes.
would this be Bryn going back to headquarters?
No,
Ghost
not
doesn't
yet.
use doors.
Yeah.
Wait, it's
You-
way too
Hey,
for ghost to
what if when you ask, she comes to you?
Yeah, because I was about to say ghosts don't do doors.
Yeah.
So here, have a stealth check.
We should make food.
We should make food.
I have a stealth.
I don't do that, but someone should.
You have a kitchen.
Yeah. So here, have a stealth check.
Okay.
I'm moving as silently as I can downstairs.
Okay.
We have a lookout, a peephole into the office. I'm gonna look through that real fast.
Sounds good. Do, 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 do. So what? Bum, bum, bum.
Can't do nothing.
I feel like I should rotate her,
I am gonna start walking down the stairs,
pulling a master
giving
miss.
Jimmy a lead time, but not moving stealthy at all. Because I am fairly certain I know what's out there already.
Draken has a better attunement to the concept of fate.
Not even. I know showmanship.
This is fair.
He's a professional.
So yes, you see her standing in all her glory.
Well, no use with subterfuge. There's a decent chance she can see through the walls. I go back upstairs to get the bottle of brimstone whiskey,
A good
and
choice.
I just nonchalantly walk through. I grab everybody first. I say, "All right,
Here you go.
party's here."
This is so much easier.
I mean, yeah. A little disturbing, maybe.
Eh, it just works that way.
And out into the foyer with us.
Well, hello.
So kind of you to call upon us right as we were about to head out looking for you.
Oh, you called me. Make no mistake.
Jimmy rubs his forehead. He is containing the urge to say something about magic. Ah. Can I offer you the chair? Gesturing to the only chair we have down here.
She saunters around to the front of the desk and very sensually slides her derriere onto it and sits down, leaning over, smiling at you with a wicked grin.
Sweating bullets here. Normally those glands don't work. Ah. I mean, you'd think it would work out better more of the time. Honestly.
The dead
Anyways.
guy with the good look.
I mean, it happened with Glazia, happened with the ghost. I mean,
These things just keep happening. You've met Draken, I recall. I don't know if Istu was here when you came last.
It's always a pleasure to meet such delicious people.
Yes.
they were here when she came last, actually.
But most importantly, they didn't have their suit yet.
It's a fabulous suit. Gives me all manner of strange ideas.
So, Jimmy pulls the cork on the bottle of brimstone whiskey and he begins to pour. Can I offer you a quick sip? I've been working on the recipe.
I would be absolutely delighted to share a libation with you.
Hands a glass. This one's a little more sulfur forward than the last one.
She takes it between two fingers and casually just kind of swirls it next to her while smiling at all three of you. So I take it this is sadly not a social call.
All of my calls are social calls. Even my calls on Scratch are social calls, technically. I am very polite.
If I'd have known there would be so many, I would have brought friends.
Don't worry, I'm sure we're not too much trouble.
No.
You're more than enough company for us. But I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's purely a social call. We were looking for you for a reason.
Mm-hmm. She leans over. That perfume kind of starts washing across all of you. That makes your head kind of swim a little bit. You start getting that sensation, that rush, that euphoria of the first time you were kissed. That tingling sensation of butterflies in your gut, the twitch in your spine that just kind of makes you uncomfortable in the best way. That's all three of you, by the way.
Devils don't really discriminate. Soul's a soul, you know. He kind of settles himself down.
I know, right there.
Wanted to discuss the terms of Scratch's exile.
He was, well, a naughty boy.
I was of the understanding that kind of came with the job description.
Well, see, there's rules, Jimmy. Even in hell.
Especially in hell.
Well,
They tend to enforce them very strictly.
oh, yes, I do. She smiles at you again. Just for a second, you see this kind of purple tongue flip out and very slowly brush across their lips. Right behind them, you see those rows of kind of needle-sharp teeth.
Teeth and teeth and teeth forever. I'm getting very mixed signals here. I ask specifically because, you know, Scratch and I, we've been talking, we've had a couple of interactions, we're getting to know each other, and I think I'd rather he didn't exist.
That's a tough one. Jimmy, that's a very, very tough one.
Oh, you're telling me. Jimmy looks back over at Draken. I say, how do you really feel? I mean, do you think he stacks up against the Shadow Dragon?
Yes, good
Different
Draken.
way.
Yeah, that's the Dragon.
I mean, for entertainment value, Scratch is a lot better.
Oh yeah, the dragon was mostly just rude and big, but I mean, like, in terms of actual work.
I don't know yet. I have to see.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I'm putting him at least on par with the god.
On the other hand, I think he's the best dressed of the three.
Oh, no
That is
contest.
nasty
Let's
dressing.
consult the expert. Istu. Scratch is fit. How we feeling?
I think it could be better.
Maybe we'll consult with him before his last day in Sigil. Oh, Glazier's sneaking around on us.
Yeah,
Like his fit is mostly persona. It's not really what he wears, it's just who he is. But you know,
It is too.
a little bit more confidence.
As you're talking, she kind of sidles up with this absolutely hypnotic sway in her hips.
Why? Why me?
And she walks up and just kind of starts running a finger along one of Draken's wings, staring at you.
She's not walking up at me.
She's staring at you.
Why is she staring at me and touching Draken? Hello?
She's got this little half-cocked smile, swirling her drink with her other hand.
Play.
She's listening to your story.
These two stops talking.
Wiggles the token the other angle and stops. Jimmy focuses in because he's supposed to be absorbing this particular variety of psychic damage for the crew.
Draken, this is a little overwhelming being this close.
I appreciate the thing. You're not exactly my type, but may I say, you do pull that dress off fabulous.
Are you looking at her?
I am.
As you look up at her, you see the most stunningly gorgeous, gold-flecked, dragonborn beauty that your eyes has ever beheld. Just, she is the ultimate reflection of everything you wish you could be and more.
Oh, you're gonna have to teach me this trick. This is amazing.
Does the illusion extend to us?
Yeah, she's everyone's greatest fantasy when you look at her.
Now, thank you. It has been a long time since I've seen a Dragonborn. And you are the prettiest one I've ever seen.
Well, I can be anything you like.
Don't tempt me with a good time. But I think...
Oh, she will.
Oh, yes, she will.
I know she will. Let's have some fun.
Jimmy is...
Question is, are you trying to distract us? Or are because you want to? Because that is yourself, which I can personally very much appreciate, especially, well, its whole appearance. Or you do it because you don't want to talk about a certain topic.
She takes one finger and kind of presses it against your maw, smiles, eyes kind of twinkling, shakes her head, says, "You're just adorable. No desire to distract you."
Then, if you don't mind, I would hate to inconvenience you. Yeah. Is he far enough on the outs that, you know, him running into a little accident would not be much of a problem back home?
Oh, you're asking a lot.
Oh, don't worry, the work is all mine.
Okay. But am I gonna play that?
The work is definitely all mine.
See, Scratch is untouchable.
Not really sure about that.
Oh, he is. As long as Daddy Dearest has his way, Scratch is...
Right, now we're getting into very important words. You cut out it has.
Oh. So as long as Daddy Dearest has his way, he's untouchable.
Rolling his shoulders a little bit. They say untouchable in the political sense, where I would be a deep, deep fool to do anything, or in the more literal sense.
Oh, why not both, Jimmy? But this is hardly why you've called me here.
What's this?
This isn't what you need.
Jimmy leans back against the desk and he says, "All right, you got me. I don't need permission to take out Scratch. I'll do it and I'll face the consequences." That's just what life kind of looks like around here for me.
Why is your dad interested in it?
Well,
what is Scratch to your father?
that's complicated.
Isn't everything? Or at least the most fun things.
You mind if I take a guess?
Oh, please. Please do.
Useful and deniable.
No.
No? Not useful even? Wow, he seems like a kind of handy guy to me.
She kills the drink in a real quick movement. Sets it down. You can still see the little stain of her lips along the glass.
Mm.
She looks up at you and smiles and shakes her head. She says, "Jimmy, why don't you ask the angler that?"
Because he keeps giving my friends heart attacks and laying claim to my limbs.
Yeah.
You can understand I might be a little reluctant to call in too many chits with that guy.
See, that's the thing, Jimmy. That you're not grasping. You're so focused on the right hand that you're not seeing what the left hand's doing.
Jimmy hangs his head. I was really hoping it'd be otherwise.
You've been played, my friend. And unfortunately not by me. More's the pity.
You're so much more polite than he is, let me tell you.
Well, that's because I can have anything I want, Jimmy. I don't need to fight.
Yeah. Let me tell you, down here where you gotta work for it, people are a bit ruder and a lot more hungry.
Oh, I know all about hungry.
Alright. Fine. You've cornered me. Would you be so kind and so generous as to fill me in on the conflict between the angler and Scratch, and indirectly, dear old dad?
The angler stole something. Something very important. And don't ask, I won't tell you what it is. But let's
Fair.
just say it's relevant. The reason the angler was able to steal it was because of Scratch. Now, Scratch knows where to find the angler. But Scratch isn't giving that information up easily. So without Scratch, Daddy can't find the angler. Get it?
Yes, actually. For the first time in months, probably, I do.
Good. Good. Now, I've given as best I could here, Jimmy. And I've given it pretty hard. What do I get?
Jimmy takes a step back. Just one, polite. He's opening up some space. He gives a little bow. My gratitude, of course. And as is only fair and reasonable, reciprocal service. I'm sure you have an interest in this matter, otherwise I'm not sure what brought you to my door.
Well, Jimmy. She turns and starts kind of sashaying away in that way that people struggle to not watch. Looks over her shoulder, sly and seductive at you, and says, "I hope it's more than lip service." And she starts making her way out the door.
Jimmy does not attempt to not watch. He respects a performance. It's probably safer to watch. You don't want to defy devils in this manner.
This is true.
Jimmy turns back to face the team.
You shake, shake, shake. You shake whenever you fly.
So,
No,
I got problems. And it's not just that several of my glands have started to work again. Hopefully those just shut back off in a minute. Jimmy visibly relaxes and he settles back down against the desk. So, initial thoughts. What do you even steal from hell? Souls? Nah. They got plenty of those.
I'm getting faster.
He's looking back and forth, Drake and Inistu.
Hmm.
Souls are the currency, then it's tough to figure out what will be worth more than that.
Yeah.
What if it's souls, but a large quantity of them? Perhaps souls that have been removed in such a way.
I did have a bit of a suspicion. Home does seem to be a little disconnected these days, wouldn't you say?
And if you could have all the souls from home, that's a mighty big amount of power.
Yeah. It also starting to make sense why exactly we're getting delegated this job. If he's trying to keep the information from the boss, then he needs to go to outsiders and he needs to pressure them and not give them any information. But we know we've got a little bit to go on here. He needs the ship to get to the angler.
And what if the only way to get to the angler is to be marked by the angler?
In that case, he needs us.
Let me just see if I can make a save here.
Wondering if it's feeding and it's basically on top.
Yeah, I guess I can.
The angler, like the angler is on top of Cairn, then perhaps the only way is to also. Our connections to Cairn might be the key too.
Jimmy takes the lantern off his belt and sets it on the desk, and he says, "Well, I know how to get there, but."
I'm going back with you this time. Taking me with.
I don't want to go back like that. It was bad, Drake. There couldn't have been anybody left. Given it another 5 minutes, there wouldn't have been me left.
I got a plan. I got a weird plan, Jimmy. You know it's the best type.
I know. I'd rather get there by ship next time if we can pull it off.
But if we can get there, then it can take us somewhere else. Perhaps to the Stapleton office. Because if there's any place that can survive, you know he had to have all sorts of fun toys in those walls.
Yeah, the old man always did have a good number of tricks. All right. Looks over at Istu. Talk to me, Istu. Talk to me. You're not as deep in this mess as we are. You don't have the history weighing down on you quite as bad. What's your read?
If they use souls as currency, a way to get souls will be the same thing as a way to make money, essentially. So they must have some sort of a plan to get those souls. which means that ultimately, no matter how you slice it, information is what they're after.
Yep, Scratch has some. Asmodeus would probably like to have it, but is willing to just, leave Scratch's leverage and make use of them. Still not sure what Glazier wants. Be in charge, maybe?
Yeah, influence would be nice, I would think.
Out of character,
For
she
most
did say
things.
from episode 1 that she'll do anything to mess up Daddy Dearest's plan. So I don't think she really wants anything else than just to fuck with him.
But it definitely seems like while Glazier might be in our corner theoretically, the moment we draw open fire, she is not gonna help. And it seems like Scratch is not in such a bad place that he doesn't merit assistance from back home. So, if we're gonna take him out, and we are going to take him out, I think it's gonna be the kind where maybe we just push him overboard into the inky void and then sail off into the sunset.
Something where we can quickly be finished with the action and away from the consequences.
Yeah, we gotta get beyond reach real fast.
Smell you later.
All right. Jimmy's pulling out his book and he's making some notes. We got a real critical order of operations here. First off, we need our people. If we absolutely have to pull through the deal with Scratch for it, then we have to. I want them before then. I want them out. That gives us a bit more power when it comes down to the moment. Because then we can spring traps on them. Otherwise, we're just going to have to play it straight up until we've got them. Then Scratch in the ground or off the side.
All
And
right.
us on a ship off into the deep.
So I will say, as you're plotting and they're resting, Ghost wasn't gone terribly long. So if Ghost wants to reappear at some point, you're welcome to.
Yeah. Let's walk back through that wall and into the office, shall we?
I killed a puppy. Oh, it's Wolfgang.
Ghost pops in.
Yeah, she technically, y'all probably saw her walk in because her walking through the wall would probably, break her invisibility, so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just in time. Just in time. How'd yours go?
I see iron.
Well, from the information that I gathered, getting aboard that ship is going to be a lot easier than I had imagined. I was planning to perhaps take the visage of Fractal Darkwood and convince some of the fated workers, some of the fated namers there to say that we're taking it out to a buyer in the coming days and to prepare the ship for us, but whenever I got there, the area around the Whispering Gale was entirely empty, not guarded well at all. I saw a few Teamsters that boarded a skiv to take cargo out to the ship. They looked incredibly nervous, and I didn't understand why. I found that a bit odd. As soon as they loaded the cargo onto the crane to be pulled up on board, there was no one up top to actually receive the cargo. They sailed straight back into port, the look of relief, and then I followed them into a small ramshackle tavern that was right there in front of the docks itself. It was very small, very ratty, but they spoke in whispers underneath their breath of The day that the ship came into port, one of the night guard was watching it, and apparently he slowly started to unravel. He heard voices and things of that nature. And on the third day of his shift, he disappeared. And it's a bit odd that no one has gone to look for him. Because apparently he had a wife and 2 kids. And that was enough information for me in terms of ease of infiltrating and taking the ship. However, I went to give one last glance at the ship before I left. I even stepped on board to look at it. There's a lot of spiritual activity on board, and I got the sort of sense that they were all trapped on board. While I was on there, the floorboards of the ship creaked underneath my feet, and I didn't want to put myself in any danger, so I stepped off. But before I left, I saw a bit of movement in the portholes, a few shadowy figures, but I couldn't see anything on closer inspection. But that is as much as I have. There is something indeed up with the ship. Why there would be spirits that are trapped on board, I don't have any clue. Even for all my knowledge, I can't imagine why they would be trapped aboard like this beyond the normal reasons, like having unfinished business and being anchored to the location, or, you know, and she pats a tiny silver cage. But it was rather eerie. So there's definitely something up with the ship, but we should be unbothered. Did you leave to go see Glazia?
Well, about that.
Right about this time, Bren notices the glass on Jimmy's desk with the lipstick stains.
Yeah.
She came here.
Yeah. Hadn't even made it out the door yet. Probably be another 15 minutes before Scallywag's back from delivering that message. We had a chat. She was rather forward. Jimmy looks at the other two. Forward? I'm gonna go with forward. He waves his hand.
Go on.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of information out of her. Scratch is definitely not the bad kind of in exile. He's got a little bit of leverage against Asmodeus, but he's being used to recover something that the angler has stolen. That is exactly what we are embroiled in now. We were just chatting about it. We're pretty sure that we're being used as one of relatively few available entries to the angler, and also as deniable and discardable assets for getting the necessary travels.
Wait. Out of character, I thought that Glazia said that Scratch helped the angler steal something from Asmodeus, and Scratch is the only way for Asmodeus to get to the angler, but he ain't telling. So it sounded like Scratch betrayed Asmodeus. And not that.
Church, would you like to clarify?
Oh.
I believe that's what it is. That
I don't know, I halfway kind of like the confusion.
But Scratch is playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just chalk the confusion up to the source.
Anyways, we're being played as a matter of convenience and being connected to the angler. It's going to make killing him a little harder because we'll be in just as much trouble. Anyways, 11 o'clock is hit. Should we take a quick break?
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Sure.
Just a quick one.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a quick break. Oh yeah. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. Just imagine that they're there. See you soon.
Stay tuned.
goodness, what happened there?
Oh, that's life in the lily pad, I think.
Oh, it is. I clicked on the wrong one. My goodness, that flipped me out. There we go. Camera's covered. Oh my lord. Okay. Total professional job here, ladies and gentlemen. Total professional job. You saw nothing. That said, welcome back. So we were just having a lovely discussion, catching Brent up on what had just transpired with the visit.
Yes, and then we were going to move on to the next scene, although I believe that there was some chatting in the Discord about the necessity of the next scene we had planned. I don't know how you two want to resolve that. Rat? Crod? What you up to?
Well, we're still upstairs, right? So we don't even know what happened.
We probably overheard a lot of it. It's the walls aren't too thick.
Oh, so we would know that it isn't too required for us to even bother asking about what Bryn already knows.
Yeah, we'll kind of walk. We'll walk into the main lobby, and just kind of Ghost is back already. Huh. We still need to go to the tavern?
If you can get any more information on the ship, might be a good idea. I don't know how much of my story you overheard, but I only heard one. And that was a tale of one of the night guards that was watching the Whispering Gale.
No, I didn't. I wasn't really paying attention. I was, you know me. Like sometimes I get my head into my tinkerings, and you know I just kind of zone out for a bit.
Shall we pretend that we do the same explanation?
It's up to you guys.
The short version of it. The night guard was hearing odd voices from the ship, started to become unraveled over the course of 3 days, and on the third day just disappeared suddenly, and no one's bothered going to look for him which is odd because he has a wife and 2 kids.
So you're saying that
what you're suggesting is there might be a legal means to acquire the ship for a discounted rate?
What I'm saying is that people are too scared of the ship to even guard the thing. That entire side of the docks was entirely empty. Hells. If we just walked onto the ship and started sailing it towards the Seafarer's Arch, if we could sneak on board without being noticed, people would probably just assume that, you know, the ship started moving on its own.
Oh.
And no one even stole it. They're that afraid of the ship.
Well, that makes things really easy. Why didn't you just lead with that? and I pull out my hand cannon. And I say, this bad boy can fire off 10 invisibility rounds. Good for how long does invisibility last?
An hour.
An hour. Good for an hour. We can be in and out before anybody knows we're gone. Well, we were there.
He shoots you and you disappear. Everyone's like, wait.
Jimmy's brain is turning over here. What was the name of the guard?
Gregory, supposedly. Well, not supposedly. His name was Gregory. This is stories from people who knew him.
If no one's come looking, I might have a suspicion something else went home in his place.
Oh, really now?
Yeah. Especially if his co-workers just haven't heard anything, any questions. They're pretty tight down there in the guild. Word gets around.
He's apparently disappeared entirely, Jimmy. What do you suggest?
Let's follow that lead for now. We're not ready to take the ship yet. We haven't even got a bit of a chance of finding our people before we have to reach our final encounter with Scratch.
No, absolutely not.
So
And
let's...
I think we need to mull over this new information from Glazia, too.
Yeah. Let's pull on this thread. Rat, Crod.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
You think you can get in there with a focus on this Gregory guy who's disappeared after his shift?
Yeah,
Home address would be pretty helpful.
yeah, we'll go to the tavern, see what the local, like his coworkers are talking about, see what they know. See if the locals know anything.
Also, ask if they've seen anything additionally odd about the ship. I've gotten a few strange readings from the ship, you should say. And I don't know how to interpret them or what is up. And if I'm the one saying that this is strange, you know that it's really barmy.
Can do.
No, right? No, I suppose.
Anybody want to go to the tavern with us? Get a pint? I mean, y'all here.
He looks back and forth, says, think I might start some reconnaissance, but since our tasks seem to be falling pretty well one after the other now, I wouldn't say no to anybody else going. Any takers?
Not really one for the tavern scene anyway, so not me.
What the hell? I'll go. I don't drink or anything, but I can stand there, and I do a mean damn shadow puppet if it comes to that.
There we go. The drunk ones are always a good audience for the glitter.
That's fair.
All right, let's go bar hopping.
You go for it.
So who's going?
Looks like you got Rat, Crod, and Draken.
Okay. Rat, Crod, and Draken.
Yes.
Which tavern are we going to specifically?
We're gonna try to find the tavern with the dock workers drinking after their shift.
There's one right there in the docks itself, Rat. It's small, only 3 tables, and you would talk to the same Burks that I did. Well, listen to. I talked to no one.
Is that the one you want to go to?
Is there a different one?
Hunt around the guild hall.
Oh,
There are a few
probably.
nearby along the ditch.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
should
the
warn
Burks
you.
are in the
but
lower
last-
ward. Most of Sigil's taverns are there.
So
So we don't have an exact place to go to.
I don't know. Is there like a Teamster bar? I guess. I don't know. I kind of want to. If we posed as potential like buyers to the boat, try and like get information about it before sale. Like I want to try and where would we find that information? That'd be like a.
If you wanted to pose as buyers, you would probably be going to the takers. But information on the ship, and specifically to get any stories and like information about the disappearance of Gregory, you may want to,
Gregory.
yeah, hang out with the Teamsters. And
Yeah.
like-
Where would Gregory have drank after work? Where would his coworkers be drinking?
Well, the
probably
ones
the tavern on
Would
the
that be
dock.
the little one on the dock?
so that's where his buddies were drinking. The ones that were
Right.
concerned enough to talk about him.
Then that's the one we'll go to.
Okay, it's your call. So, off to the docks we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Off to the docks we go. Let's see here. I suppose I should bring your tokens. So let's see, we got Rat,
Crod and Draken.
and Crod. There we go. All right.
Bryn's not here.
No. She might be. Who knows?
Ooh.
All right. So, trying to move for a second. We're just kind of keeping this standard. For a moment. You guys are kind of big right now, so. Giants.
Oh, smooth.
Should I be able to see something?
No.
I'm just going, right? Okay.
Yeah, you have to be on the map to see. It makes it mysterious. If you have the stream up, you can see, though.
Yeah, for some reason, I can see.
Hmm?
Though I am not present.
Jimmy knows all.
Jimmy knows all. See, you know what it is. I'm still attached to Draken's token as well.
No, that's what it is from when you were piloting him. But yes, you guys arrive at the docks. Crod, you're familiar with the docks, if I remember correctly, right?
I'm familiar with probably the whole place.
Yeah.
Well, a good portion of the lower areas, and sleazier areas, yeah.
So you're kind of familiar with the territory. You do know that north of you here is where the Gale is docked. And the tavern is east a ways, just past the repair lock.
Right, so definitely we just lead them to the tavern.
All right.
To the tavern.
I would be personally sneaking around since I don't want to be seen for obvious reasons. But everyone else, they can be normal.
All right.
Oh god, whatever, good enough.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not amazing.
Wait, are we trying to be all stealthy like? Because I'll try to be all stealthy like.
No, only I am. Y'all can be fine. It's more like I'm pulling my, pulling a hood over my head or something like that. Not so much actually like sneaking. Just trying to be inconspicuous.
Don't worry, I am more than conspicuous enough for everyone.
Yeah, have you seen this guy?
Yes, the light shining from you is so bright. You're so hard to see.
Well, you guys make your way through the mist and fog. Once again, in the area you're in right now where your tokens are, there's very little hustle and bustle. Very few people coming and going. The next section over, past the purple arrow, we'll say, is kind of the lock. It's actually empty. I think one of the little shops here, these buildings, are all shops. There's a couple little kiosk-style tents here and there. They're really devoid of activity at this point as well. Just past it, say close to a block, is where you'll find your tavern. You should be able to move your token, though.
Ooh. Get a block away. You kind of cut out when you were talking about it.
Yeah, let's go east. I marked it with a star.
Yeah, it's got a star on it. There you go.
Because Crod would know, so.
Yeah, he knows his way around the docks.
Oh, we're just teleporting there. All right, you're fine. No encounters along the way. It's all right.
I'm gonna roll for Mandem Monsters.
Oh no. Okay.
You had to say something.
I
You had to say
should have
something.
warned you both. The last time I was in a bar/inn that was not owned by Jimmy, I did burn it down
It's not an
and
uncommon.
kill a bunch of people in the process.
To be fair, they were
Just a heads
dustmen.
That sounds like a Friday night out to me.
I might have dropped a fireball at a bunch of dustmen who were down there, their local hanging out.
Impressive. Hold on to that one for later.
As you round the
Oh,
corner.
trust me, that's always in the thing.
As you round the corner and see a whole line of little orphans of dustman parents begging for
Aw.
alms.
I'm gonna have to kill more.
What a shame.
Burning hands. But yeah, the building you're next to is the tavern. The door is still wide open. There's still some sounds of movement and talking within.
Okay. I wasn't given a last name for Gregory, was I? Or just the first name, Gregory?
I believe Gregory was the only name that was
Okay.
given.
Just making sure. Alright, so, what do you all want to do about this in particular? Do you want to just, interrogate them, or you want to play it nice, or what?
Spider died. Hi, creepy boy.
We gotta play nice. Get them all nice and drunk. See what they know about Gregory. What they're too scared to talk of.
Oh my.
And the ship.
And the ship. See what they know about the ship. Maybe where it stands in legal proceedings. If it'd be possible even to just kind of like buy it on the cheap because it's going to salvage instead.
Well, I have an idea. I'm going to,
What about we get them going drunk and then we do some arm wrestling for information trades. And then you can just throw around these dark peoples.
I mean, I do have the ability to read their thoughts, so, that's a bit easier.
That is probably easier.
Yeah. Plus, well, I might be strong now, but I don't know if I'm as strong as them.
Everyone's so mad at me for
Yeah.
looking at
It's okay.
Zombie.
It'll be fine. You just have to ask them questions, and I'll point towards the ones who seem to be the most knowledgeable.
Not really the most charismatic.
I believe
I
that
was
is
talking
my
I was talking to the big glittery dragonborn, man.
I think part of the reason I came along is that I am very good at the talking.
Yeah.
Though
you
on the
are.
other hand, do I really need to if you can just read their mind?
Well, I can
How much
only
control
read,
you got?
I can only, well, you see, it's kind of weird. Alright, so I can only read what they're thinking of currently unless I basically let them know that I'm trying to read their mind. I character detect thoughts.
So in other words,
they have to be asked things to talk to. They can't just be I can't just dive into their mind and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go find this thing without them causing problems. Because they'll know it's me immediately.
So I can just walk in and be like, "Where's Gregory's home address?" And they'll know, and you'll know.
I mean, I kind of works like that, but you should probably not just scream that out loud, because you know if they're drunk, they're gonna be confused and be thinking about something else and just be thinking the words like "huh" or "what." So we should probably talk to them.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, or that. So we should probably talk to them a little bit and then ask the question, "Hey, do you know where Gregory lives?" or something like that. But I'm bad at talking as well. Surprisingly, I know I'm very suave and nice and handsome, but you know, I'm not great at talking to people, if you haven't noticed. Yep.
All right, let's do this. Let's go have ourselves some nice conversation.
All right.
I will talk to them. I will work their way in. Now, all right, so what we're gonna do is Gregory wants some money. We're gonna go with the lottery win. That's how we're gonna run this.
That's a classic.
We're gonna pretend that we want to give the money, and when they say we can't find Gregory, we're gonna talk about giving it to the next of kin, hence his wife. We're gonna ask the address so we can give the wife the money.
What if they want to take the money for themselves and that's all they think about is how they're going to trick you to give the money to them instead?
That's what the persuasion is for.
And the deception. It also, it can only be, it's a really big novelty check. And that can only be signed for by next of kin, and I know he's married. So it's got to be him or his wife.
Oh, you said next of kin.
Yeah, next of kin.
I thought you said Mexican for some reason. I think you just, because you said it so fast. It could only be signed by Mexican. I was like, wait, what?
What?
How does that work in Planescape?
What?
I like to think that doesn't come into this at all. I don't know. Greg, maybe.
Well, I got excited because I'm new Mexican. I was like, oh.
I mean,
I'll sign.
I don't know Gregory's ethnicity, maybe? But either way, we're going with the lotto scam. That's how we play this.
He's an Azamar.
It's classic.
Alright.
Not really.
Alright,
Now-
you guys go in first, or I'll go in after, so it's not weird that I'm just standing around and sitting down or whatever, and that'll be that.
To facilitate the lottery story, Rat snaps his fingers and casts Disguise Self.
Okay.
And there's just this fancy green suit. There's a picture in
Now I
there.
have to ask, how are you guys as shadow puppet?
Oh, you're gonna have to clarify.
Oh, that's a bad question. All right, well, I'll do it myself. Let's do this. I don't know how, but I'm going to do my own shadow puppet.
Okay. So you guys head in?
Heading in.
Suppose so.
Okay. In you go. Once again, it is a ramshackle bar. There is a gated stairway that leads upstairs. A very rough bar and 3 tables with mismatched chairs. At present, all that's really left is the one little table of Teamsters and the half-orc bartender.
I'll approach the bartender.
I'll just find a nice little spot to lean against the wall or sit down at,
Okay.
looking like I'm gonna try and just look like I'm waiting for somebody else.
Okay. And what is your disguise? Racially.
I'm still a gnome.
Okay. Just a different gnome.
I've just disguised my outfit, basically.
So just
So
okay.
I don't appear like. So I'm not walking around in combat fatigues.
That's fair.
People questions about like a lottery winner. That's awkward. No, so I've got a fancy suit on, like, so I look like I'm from like publisher's house sweepstakes, like ready to show up at somebody's house with the movie camera. put a picture in the Discord.
Look at those rolls. Oh my
They're
god.
already a little toasted.
What is your disguise self DC?
My spell save DC is 20.
20. Okay, yeah. None of them see through it. The bartender
Alrighty.
got the closest with a 13.
Well, that's not drunk. How fitting.
That's a flat 13. That half orc has no intelligence bonus.
And
All right.
I will basically wait until they start talking to them, and I will cast, this. Luckily, because it's due to a racial trait, and it specifically says in it that it doesn't have any, component requirements. Haha, thanks. New race stuff.
Detect thoughts. Okay, yeah.
So, just surface thoughts, of course, but it's only going to happen whenever they start talking to him and mention Gregory. I won't
Alright.
use it preemptively because it's a waste of time.
Keep in mind you do have to focus on one creature.
Yes.
Is there a particular creature you'd like to remain focused on to begin with?
I'll probably bounce between, because it's,
An action to change.
action, yeah, so every 6 seconds I'll bounce between the Teamsters as they talk to them about Gregory. So whenever they start doing that, I'll start bouncing between them and see if any one of them says, "Oh yeah, I know where that guy lives."
Alright.
Or stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty, I am going to approach the table. And I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
Would you guys know where Gregory would happen to be? I am here trying to give him his lottery winning. I'm going to start with it.
Lottery.
Yeah. You guys haven't been playing the lottery? The Doc lottery?
There's no such thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
subscribers publishing house. It's a random lottery.
I am so sorry. We've been working on our publicity. This is something we're trying to start up, and we just did it the first time. Yeah, Gregory's actually the first winner we've had.
Gregory's our big winner. Massive jackpot. You've heard the rumor of the leprechaun's gold?
This is suspicious.
Make those deception
Understandable.
checks.
There's a 19. I know it sounds suspicious. I mean, somebody trying to give money away? Who the hell does that in this economy? That's the great thing. It's just a small to get in, 5 gold pieces, and you have the chance of winning 100 gold.
One of them actually.
Now, can I get-
One of them actually like sits up and goes, "Oh, yeah, no, I know all about that. I've heard all about that. He's telling the truth. This is the real deal. I think old Shaney down the way, the one who's working at the other sloop right there, he came down. And he said he'd entered, and him and his wife were damn sure they were going to win.
Okay, so you heard word of mouth. That's great. I mean, we got some flyers out there. Unfortunately, we're still trying to build it up. Now, are any of you interested in partaking this time?
What's the cost?
5 gold pieces, but you can win 100.
5 gold. Jeez. Shaney must be doing all right.
But, like I said, right now, I'm trying to give the 100 gold to Gregory because he won the first one. Would you guys know where he is?
Gregory's missing.
Missing? Well, that's not good fortune for a lottery winner to go missing.
Well, do you know where his next of kin? I can sign it over to. He's got a wife, right? I can sign it over to his wife. You want another one?
How about you sign it over to me? I'll give it to his wife. I know her.
Well, unfortunately, I'm only allowed to sign it over to the next of kin if we can't find the original. So it's either Gregory or his next of kin would be his wife.
Oh, you're lucky. I'm his brother.
What's this?
Unfortunately, you aren't unless you're married to him, which Not judging you. Unfortunately, I can't do that. It has to be within the rules that it either needs to be the person or, in this case, the wife.
I would say, what's this guy thinking the last the last 6 seconds? While it's got like this short conversation part with 3 questions and 3.
The big focus is how can I get that money? They're greedy.
I know.
Now, I could be
Could be.
possibly convinced for a finder's fee. And if you can help me out, I can waive the 5 gold entry into the next raffle. But only for the first person to help.
Okay. So the little short guy at the table, there's always one. The little short guy at the table jumps up before the rest of them can speak and says, "Oh, no, I got you. He holds his hand out. What you got, like a slip of paper or something?"
Actually, what's your name and what is your next of kin? Are you married? Single?
It's kind of personal.
What's your name?
Yeah.
I need to know if I'm handing it, need to know in case you go missing. What's your name?
My name's Francis.
Well, Francis, nice to meet you. My name is Draken. It's a pleasure.
So you gonna waive the 5 gold for me?
I will waive the 5 gold for you.
Good.
And I am going to pull out a piece of paper and write down Francis's name. So I have it for the lottery.
All right.
And I guess I'll focus on Francis. Hopefully he's thinking about where Gregory is. Or where his next kin is.
He's thinking about 100 gold right now.
Where... Now, Francis, I've already written you down. Where's his wife? Like, where's the house? Where can I find her?
He's a little apprehensive.
Write your name down, man. If you're not going to help me, I'm going to have to erase it. I don't want to erase it. It's more work.
Well, I don't know. It's a little awkward. Look, Gregory weren't doing very well. That's why he was on night watch. But, you know where Gouge Row is?
Yeah, I know where that is.
They got a little shack down on Gouge Row.
Sounds like this could really help them. Thank you. Thank you, Francis.
So,
And I'll let him know that you're the one who made sure that I knew where to find him.
100 gold, right?
When you win, here's hoping for you, man.
Win, I win.
Yeah. It's a lotto. Don't just automatically win.
I don't know how that works.
You give us, well, in this case, you got the free entry. And then in a week, we'll pull a new name. Whoever we pull gets 100 gold.
But you're going to pull my name, right?
I'm going to be honest right now, you're the only name we got.
Good, so I'm going to win.
If we keep it this way, yeah.
Good. I'll come looking for you if I don't hear from you.
You know where to find me, sir.
Where do I find you?
And then Draken's already out the door.
I flip the bartender a gold piece and say, "Around for our friends here."
They're not terribly bright. That'll distract them.
We're going to be here at the dock, because of course we're trying. It's the dock lotto, and then we leave.
The dock lotto. All right.
Before Crod looks at the door, though, Francis specifically, before the spell ends, he will probe a little deeper as he slips out the door.
Okay.
Just for that 1 second. So I need a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Please roll out. What's that? What's that
15.
number? That's just a straight 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he fails. So I just want to know any specific, more specific details about that situation right there. If there's anything else.
Into its reasoning, its emotional state, or something that looms large in its mind.
So something maybe specific. I mean, I can't look for something specific, but Gregory was just mentioned, so I'm hoping, or at least Crod's hoping, that he's thinking about more details behind why Gregory's gone. Everything else behind that. If he knows something more than what he's saying, basically.
I'll throw you a bone on this one. Francis firmly believes, you can see the image in his mind of his creative imaginings of horrible demonic ghosts tearing Gregory limb from limb deep in the belly of the ship.
But like a witness?
No, it's just what he believes happened.
Alright. The moment that happens, I will totally slip away. He does know that I did that. But we're running away, so I imagine we're okay, hopefully.
Yeah, he's looking at you like, what? He's not terribly bright.
And that's that. Make our way back to...
Back to headquarters?
Headquarters. Yeah.
Should we
Sounds like a good
go
idea.
knock
On the way, I'll explain.
Should we
when
try to
I'm
find his wife's house on the way back?
Yeah, where would it be? I mean, I'm assuming Crod would know specifically where that
Gaudreau?
would be, but I don't know if it's close to here or not. If it's not close, then it's like
Gaudreau's,
side.
it's in the hive. It's actually not far from HQ.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
think we can make it on the way back.
Well, it is about to hit 12.
Midnight has arrived.
This is true.
Yeah. So it might
Plus,
be very
they might want to head back to HQ and give Jimmy the address, and then we can all go as a group.
Also fair.
I'm quite willing to leave them delegated to this task if that's how they prefer it, but I'm not going to complain either way. I just find it funny that anytime somebody hesitates to even give an address that's in that bad a part of town, they're just our neighbors.
Never fails.
Do you know where this is? Yes, we live there.
It's next door.
I walk past it when I go to buy donuts.
Oh yeah,
they
shit, that is close.
Yeah,
They have good bagels and schmear.
Because if I remember correctly, you guys are on Shatterbone, right?
We are,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Gaudreau's like right around the corner.
Literally.
And you see, that is how it is done. You lie, and it works.
But
I mean, there was a significant bribe involved, but
yeah,
What bribe?
a fake
Fake
bribe.
lottery
a
ticket?
fake bribe.
There's a
A
line
fake bribe of a lottery ticket that doesn't exist.
Holy shit, you sold an NFT.
Sold. No,
Oh
this
my
is a
God.
classic con man maneuver. The mark is always hoist by their own greed. Every time.
Honestly, the only way it would have been better is if I could get one of them to actually give me money.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
You did try. Luckily, they're too poor.
Yep. 5 gold's a big ask.
Said 5 gold. They're like, oh god,
I know.
I'm trying to drink
I was
here.
hoping.
That's more than a month.
I had to make it believable.
But overall, I feel like you guys actually made some good headway. You got some interesting bits of information from all 3 excursions.
Yes, indeed. I think when we return, we're going to follow through on this lead, see what we can get. And then we're going to dive right into trying to identify where is Scratch holding our friends.
He's already eaten them.
No. seems unlikely. It's not quite his style.
No, it's really not. That's fair.
Yeah. And we might want to go back and watch a VOD and, like, see what Glazia actually said, because that will be very pertinent in, discussions.
I got to talk.
I always feel like I need a shower after playing her.
It just keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, it's also the most powerful succubus in hell with my face.
Yeah.
Well, I like your voice, because, Glazia looked like that.
But yeah. True.
No, I have no complaints here. I enjoy this being an element of the game because in my mind, for the very high level succubine devils, the sex is almost entirely irrelevant. They're offering power on just a deeply unimaginable level. The sex is just the entry, It's a means of communicating the appeal of what they have to offer to mortals.
Oh yeah. Well, I've said it before. Like, lust covers a wide area. And that's kind of their sin of choice.
Yes.
And it's like a good succubus will never touch you and still get you to do whatever they want. with the promise that you might be able to.
The hooks will be in. Alright, but thank you so much for the session, Church.
Well, thank you guys. And we're back to Cairn next week.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
New arc time.
New arc is beginning. New character coming in. Saying goodbye to an old one. One of the things off screen that's going to be happening, of some minor import, major import possibly, depending, is that before, and we've talked about this, but before Van Warren leaves, which he'll be opting to stay on the island, before he leaves, he will be handing off a certain item to Az. A very important item.
The acorn. Or the seed, I mean.
Yeah, he'll be handing off the seed.
Probably 2 items. Since I don't know if he'll keep the golden ancient dwarf axe.
Well, it's up to you.
Okay.
Entirely. But yeah, so we'll be saying goodbye to Van Warren. Him being the best possible choice to stay behind and clean up the island and bring things to bear in the absence of power that is there now. I mean, who else would be a better choice, honestly?
Who else could convince any of them?
He's the best at everything.
Yes. Which will be a tremendous loss for you guys, but somehow you'll make do. But we'll also be introducing, like I said, a new character. I won't tell you anything about him. I'll leave that to our players' discretion. Yeah. I'm also going to work on the World Anvil more. And I will see about getting you guys some editorial rights as well.
All right.
So that we can continue our collaborative efforts. But yeah, it was a good session. Thank all of you for joining me. Thank all of you for watching, past, present, and future. And we'll see you. Actually, it might be Friday. I think we have Star Wars again, don't we?
We may be playing Yavin.
So yeah,
Prison Break.
you don't want to miss that. That's been a long time coming. I'm gonna shoot everything.
Everything.
You got some catching up to do.
Yeah, I do. But
As I recall, we were just at the moment where everything started to go wrong, which is an excellent place to return to.
yes,
It is. I mean, that's a perfect season cliffhanger, honestly.
it's where we shine. But yes, we will see you back Friday and Saturday. Stay tuned.
Until next time.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.